Voters in Britain went to the polls to elect a new government today. Television projections based on exit polls suggest the Conservatives have won the largest number of seats, but will fall slightly short of a majority. That would leave the door open for the second-place Labour Party, led by Prime Minister Gordon Brown, to seek a deal in which smaller parties would support him. Official results aren't expected until the morning. Prime Minister Stephen Harper is in the Netherlands today, marking the 65th anniversary of the Second World War. A solemn ceremony honored the lost lives during the war. The sun was shining brightly at the Canadian War Cemetery near the border of the Netherlands and Belgium, where 968 Canadian soldiers are buried. Most of the fallen who lie there lost their lives while fighting to liberate the Netherlands. Small Canadian flags are planted in front of many graves. Today on Parliament Hill, a victims group protested on the lawn, lighting candles and reading the names of women killed in the Montreal massacre at the École Polytechnique in 1989. They were there as part of an ongoing debate over the controversial long gun registry. Also going on were two competing press conferences. One was led by Winnipeg Conservative MP Candace Hepner, whose private member's bill is designed to scrap the registry. She was joined by 3 retired Winnipeg SWAT officers. On the other side, 3 national police associations. Here's what both sides had to say.
Like many of you, I have a driver's license. It allows me to operate a vehicle. But without registration, there's no linkage to the vehicles that I own. So, if I stop an individual as a police officer, how do I know that that vehicle has not just been stolen if it's not registered?
Never have I attended a killing when a registry of any of the weapons would have prevented that killing from occurring. The long gun registry is not working to prevent gun crime as it was intended.
Thanks, Anthony. Still to come on News Final, the Habs did what they had to do. And now the series is tied at 2. As promised, we have highlights. Global's Mike LeCouture is safely back in our Global studios this time around with the highlights of the game. And Mike, it's now down to a best of 3.
That's right, Peter. And it was crazy out there. And who would have thunk it? I mean, few people believed that the Habs magic would continue for yet another playoff series. But it's clear that this team is for real. Just 2.5 minutes into the first, the Habs' 4th line gets them on the board. Tom Pyatt throws it on net, and it finds its way through Marc-Andre Fleury. But less than a minute later, PK Subban gets tripped up at the blue line, and that gives Pittsburgh a 2-on-1. Maxime Talbot with the deke, and that ties the score at 1. And 2 minutes later, the Pens get another one on the power play. Chris Kunitz gets his 3rd of the playoffs. It's 2-1 Pittsburgh after 1. The Habs just weren't clicking in the second, but Jaro Halak kept them in it with saves like this one. Then in the 3rd, the Canadiens came to life. Maxime Lapierre ties the game with this wraparound. And then a minute and a half later, Brian Gionta gets a lucky as his centering pass goes in off Chris Letang. Amazingly, that would be your game winner. Habs take game 4, 3-2. But during that second intermission, they did some serious soul searching.
We sat here in the second and we kind of just looked at each other and said, let's call it like it is. That was just 2 bad periods of hockey. We were all bad. Let's all pick it up. And coach let us know that he didn't think we were, too sharp the first 2. And guys responded well.
We talked about momentum, but I mean, everyone would have said we had it coming into this game, and what's momentum? It's what you generate on the ice. It's what you create.
After the game, Jaro Halak admitted that they're feeling confident because they've been written off by so many of those so-called experts, and no one really expected the Habs to beat Washington, and most people thought the Penguins would eliminate them in 4 or 5 games. But this series will be going to 6 games for sure. Game 5 is in Pittsburgh on Saturday, and then they're back here on Monday. Peter?
Thanks, Mike. Well, everybody's heard about the bird. The United States has the bald eagle. Australia has the emu. Other countries also have national birds. Canada? Not yet. But a new contest is underway to pick our best feathered friend. Here's Global's Andrew Siegel.
An idea is taking flight.
Know that I will be supporting that particular nomination.
At Queen's Park and around the country.
Actually, a good pick now that you bring it up.
To give Canada the bird. A new national bird, that is, the red-tailed hawk.
It's a neat-looking bird. Why not?
Here in Toronto, 2 baby birds now nest outside the legislature. So Premier Dalton McGuinty is hawking the idea with some political overtones.
The red is thriving here in Ontario, and I will be supporting the red-tailed hawk.
The proposal was hatched by the Canadian Raptor Conservancy to give Canadians a stronger national identity.
One that's a true survivor, one that's here for the long term, one that can adapt.
This expert on birds of prey says the hawk might actually give us a fighting chance against the American bald eagle.
He's much happier to eat something that someone already got or already has killed for him, and does a lot of scavenging. The red-tailed hawk, on the other side, this is a true-born hunter.
Canada already has plenty of animal symbols. Just reach down into your pocket. You can pull out a caribou, a loon, and a polar bear. So the question is, do we really need one more?
We have a water animal, which would be the beaver, a land animal, the polar bear. Now why not throw one in the air? Get the hawk in there.
But support isn't unanimous. Some beaver backers want to block the hawk.
Canada's never been ferocious. Why not just promote the beaver a bit more?
And this woman from Romania thinks Canada should stay with something more peaceful.
Could be bad. Because, you know, when you see something that is, you know, scary, you think also that everything and everybody there, you know, is like this.
Not to mention those who have a soft spot for our namesake nuisance, the Canada goose. So this much is clear. No matter the outcome, picking a national bird is sure to ruffle some feathers. Andrew Siegel, Global News.
Time for us to fly the coop. I'm Peter Anthony Holder. Thanks for joining us. Take care. Good night.